Like Kanye said, we're all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. Greatness. Now, that journey to finding our personal greatness can differ from one person. And yeah, there's going to be some down days, but overall, you're full of happiness. You know where you want to go and you know where you're headed. But what stops us from actually getting to that point? Now, fear and desire have one thing in common. They both affect our mind and willingness to do something new. Fear suppresses your mind and desire to do something that makes you get out of. See, a true desire is that inner voice constantly telling us where we should be and what we should do. On the other hand, you got the passionate person that sparks others just by speaking about that thing that moves them. Because in reality, we're all passionate about something. And a true sense of exactly that is, it's that voice that you hear in your head, the thing that makes you the most happiest. But what stops us from realizing our own personal greatness? But I think it's time to unlock life's purpose and embrace it and follow it. I have listed 4 ways we could try to achieve that inner greatness inside of all of us. Because in reality, it's a miracle that we're even here. All these things had to take place for you to be here today, which makes you remarkable and makes you unique. And it makes you completely rare. And it means that you have a true purpose. But the big issue is, nowadays we tie our deeds with the accomplishments of others or the failures. We worry that terrible things that happen to them will happen to us. But when you perceive what you need to do deep down, you realize that the passion that burns inside is ready to face all the obstacles. You feel it in your soul, the urge to do something new, to jump off the ledge and become that virgin along with opportunities once you get clear-headed on where you want to go and what you want to do. Because sometimes we prevent ourselves from doing things that we want to for the fear of failing or getting rejected and other obstacles and challenges, because really nobody likes feeling like they failed on something. No matter how strong somebody tells you they are or how great you might presume their life to be, nobody wants to fail and deal with that kind of rejection. Like Kanye said, we're all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. And that's the reality. We're all self-conscious and we really value the opinions of others, not just strangers, but those closest to us as well. We just don't want to let nobody down. But we also risk of not doing anything new for the fear of not letting people down. However, when is that time to be fearless? When is that time to take a risk? Because if you're waiting for the stars to align or the bank account to be full and the bills paid, that time won't come. It'll never be the perfect time. The time is to do it now. We often tell ourselves these things as a defense mechanism in order to not follow through our own promises. Our brain is going to constantly try to keep us safe from any harm. This is what it's meant to do. We know that just from the indication that we receive, like preventing us from walking across the street onto oncoming traffic, and rightfully so. The brain is there to protect, but it will also prevent us from doing anything that is new and that is different. If the brain has never experienced it, it will prevent you from doing it. That's just what happens, which is why you got to fight through the urge of giving up. The urge of your brain telling you, hey, let's do it another day. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it the next day. Let's do it the day after that. It'll continue to stop you until you tell it no. This is what we're going to do. And you implant that new norm in your thinking. Because when you take that leap of faith, there's no turning back. You'll see a new perspective. And you'll want to continue. And you'll wonder why you didn't even do it sooner. Now, me personally, I didn't take that leap of faith right off the bat. I was scared as hell. But I kept telling myself the same thing I'm telling you. If not now, then when? What is the perfect moment I'm waiting for? Does that moment even exist? So I was only playing myself and prolonging my journey to do something great. And we all do that, don't we? Not because we want to, but doing anything that is different is scary. And I ask you the same thing. How many people that you've seen came from nothing, made something for themselves? What was different about them from you? And the reality is the only difference is they took that risk and they never looked back. So what is needed to activate that winning state of mind that allows you to overcome those fears and negative thoughts from entering your head and discouraging you? Well, the biggest thing is you got to have a why. And that's number one. Now, this could be anything. This could be your kids, this could be your parents, this could be family members, your husband, your wife, partner. Having a why is the thing that will push you past your brain telling you to give up. This is done. Why are you even doing this? Because I truly believe that soul motivation is bullshit. And I'm not totally opposed to it, but motivation is like drinking coffee when you're tired. Yeah, you'll be up for a little bit, but you'll get a little energy. But once you feel tired again, you'll need to make another cup. That's why lone motive will keep you from pursuing your goals and dreams, because when you have that wall that you hit, motivation alone won't help you get through it. Trust me, I've been there. It's like going to a seminar and listening to a motivational speaker. Sure, you're all pumped up and it lasts for a few days. You keep telling yourself, okay, now it's the time. I'm going to go pursue my dreams. But when you find yourself needing another pep talk because you hit a wall or you got discouraged, that's why having a why is so essential, because it'll push you past that. It's the ultimate self-motivator. It helps you overcome laziness. It helps you overcome procrastination. You need to always have the big picture real close to you to remind yourself why you started doing this and the people that you're doing it for. Learning what will be the final outcome and why you're putting all your blood, sweat, and tears into this. And don't get me wrong, having a why is just part of it. Your mind will still question why you're even attempting to do something different when it's easy for you to go back to that employer or stay off that diet or not keep up with your daily routines. But just remember, whether it's self-betterment, self-love, self-accolade, success, it's necessary to have those whys to push you even when it's everything else pushing you back. Now, number 2, allow yourself to start over. Because oftentimes we give up on the things that we want to pursue because they didn't go as planned. So we stop pursuing the dream. But I remember Oprah saying in a speech once, there's no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. And that's true. If we fail forward. And sometimes in that process, we stumble into something else that we would have only found during the circumstances that we were in. And we all know how much success she has accumulated, but we also know how much failure she's had as well. Take example Henry Ford. He built a reputation for having failed auto businesses early in his career. But what if he gave up and thought to himself, this isn't for me? Look at Ford now. I mean, you go outside, you see a Ford on the road every day. If he just had gave up to the criticism from the outside, the self-doubt in his head, we probably wouldn't have the advanced innovation that we do today in the vehicle industry. Therefore, as you can see from all these great individuals, it's okay to fail. It's okay to start over. But what's not okay is to give up. Don't stop believing in yourself and your self-worth when you can do anything in the world that you set your mind to. And I know that sounds cliche, but that's really true. Number 3, don't tell family and friends. Now, it's a normal thing to tell the people closest to us what we're thinking about doing. But the only issue with that, and I'm not saying that this is all family members and friends, but for the most part, when people closest to us feel like they have an idea of who we are, that also means they have an idea of what we can achieve. And you have to be careful who you tell your dreams to, because they're still finding their own journey. And maybe they haven't found that passion, they haven't found that reason to live a better life. You're not really going to get the best reception when you tell people that you want to do something different, something they never seen you do. And the reality is they're not trying to make us feel bad. They're not trying to discourage us. Well, they don't think they're trying to discourage us. They think they're trying to protect us. See, our closest family and friends turn into the voices that we hear in our heads when we're thinking about doing something in the physical form. They tell us these things because they're thinking that they need to save us from ourselves, that we should rethink what we're doing. But that's why you have to keep your dreams and your passions and your goals to yourself. You have to build momentum. You have to start laying bricks. Really, you got to move in silence and keep your head down. Work on yourself. Work on your dreams. Work on your passion. When you start getting the ball rolling, then you can start informing the people closest to you, because in this fragile state of doing something new, you can't risk any kind of negative talk, any kind of discouragement, any kind of self-doubt, any kind of non-belief. You have to protect that energy. You have to protect the goals that you set in place, because it's a lot bigger than even yourself. It's about you leaving something long after you're gone, something that you can pass down to generations after you. Number 4, get clear and have intention. You have to get ultra focused on the goal you have set. You'll always have to push yourself towards your dreams faster than you expect. Now, I don't know if you read that book, The Alchemist, which I really recommend, but the young boy was on a quest to find his personal legend, and he was told, when you want something with all your intent, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. And that's what will happen. Doors will open and new opportunities will present themselves. And that's possible only when you manifest a purposeful intent into achieving that goal you have in mind. All your energy so much that no one can stop it. Really think about the person you want to be. Visualize that person. See, what you can control is how you care for yourself, how you live, how you move. You don't gotta be rich to carry yourself with the highest standard. But if you want to be great, take yourself serious. Visualize what that person that you see would do in all situations, because suddenly things start shifting. What you should learn is that those voices of doubt, they'll fade away. You'll start really flourishing into your journey. Your mind will open up to even more ideas. You'll feel more confident, and you'll go through knowing that you can actually do anything simply because you put your whole mind to it. And you'll thank yourself because you did this, and only you could have done this. Only you could have took that leap of faith, and now you are the standard. You're the example. But don't get me wrong, this is a life journey. This is self-improvement is an ongoing thing. The road never stops, because you're not the same person you were yesterday. You're not the same person you're going to be next week, next month, next year. You're continuing to get wiser. You're continuing to progress. So don't take these days for granted. Take them as opportunities to keep training yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be.